Jai Hind students, welcome to my YouTube channel. Students, I've always maintained and always suggested you that never underestimate your own strength. You have infinite capabilities, so never ever underestimate your own strength. You were born for a purpose and are blessed with the power to achieve it. Only and only hard work can make you realize your dreams. Now let us discuss the factors on which the force acting on a current carrying conductor depends. So basically, from the activity, we conclude that the force acting on a current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field depends upon the strength of the magnetic field. First is, it depends upon the strength of the magnetic field. That is, if the conductor is placed in a strong magnetic field, then it experiences a large force. And if the conductor is placed in a weak magnetic field, then it experiences a small force. That is, the force experienced by a current carrying conductor when placed perpendicular to the magnetic field is found to be directly proportional to the strength of the magnetic field. Clear, students? So, greater the strength of the magnetic field, more is the force experienced by the current carrying conductor. So, this is the first factor on which the force on a current carrying conductor depends. Second is, it also depends upon the strength of the electric current. It depends upon the strength of the electric current. And here again it is found that if large current flows through the conductor placed in the magnetic field, then it is found to experience a large force. And if much smaller current is flown through the conductor, then it experiences a small force. So what we conclude is the force experienced by a current carrying conductor under the influence of perpendicular magnetic field is directly proportional to the current which is made to pass through it. So this is the second factor on which the force depends. Third is, students, a long conductor is found to experience a greater force and a short conductor is found to experience a smaller force when placed in perpendicular magnetic field. So it also depends upon the length of the conductor. And how it depends? The force experienced by a current carrying conductor is found to be directly proportional to the length of the conductor. So greater the length of the conductor, larger is the force experienced by the current carrying conductor and vice versa. Clear? So we have seen that force acting on a current carrying conductor placed perpendicular to the magnetic field depends upon the strength of the magnetic field, the amount of the current flowing through the conductor and the length of the conductor. So combining all the three, what we get is F is proportional to BIL. B, as you are aware, it represents the strength of the magnetic field. I is the current and L is the length of the conductor under consideration. So you are aware, in order to eliminate this proportionality sign, we need to introduce some constant. Let that constant be K. So, proportionality will change into equal sign by introducing this constant of proportionality. Here, K is constant. It is actually known as constant of proportionality. Right? Now, in SI, when force is measured in Newton, magnetic field is measured in Tesla. Its SI unit is Tesla. We'll discuss it. The SI unit of current is ampere, length is measured in meter, then the value of K is found to be 1. Therefore, it's been found to be 1. Therefore, what we are left with is F is equal to BIL. So this is the expression for the force experienced by a current carrying conductor when placed under the influence of a perpendicular magnetic field. So from this we can define the magnetic field strength as well. Look students, from this expression it is pretty clear that B is equal to F divided by IL, isn't it? So what to do is, if we substitute the value of I as 1 ampere in SI and the length of the conductor, if it is taken as 1 unit, in SI it is taken as 1 meter, then if I is taken as 1 ampere, L is taken as 1 meter, then B is equal to F. So that gives us a method to define magnetic field. Therefore students, magnetic field strength is defined as the force acting on unit current per unit length of a conductor placed perpendicular to the direction of the magnetic field. Again I repeat students, the magnetic field strength is numerically equal to the force experienced by a unit length conductor placed perpendicular to the magnetic field when current which is made to pass through it is 1 ampere, right? So I'll write down the definition. So thus, magnetic field, that is B, is defined as, this is the quantitative or mathematical definition of magnetic field, defined as, it is defined as the force acting per unit current, per unit length, force acting per unit current per unit length of a conductor when placed in a perpendicular magnetic field, of a conductor placed perpendicular to the direction of the magnetic field, to the direction of the magnetic field. Clear students? Now, from the same expression we can also try to define Tesla. 1 Tesla, it's the SI unit of magnetic field. So this is again very, very important students regarding the unit. In SI system, the unit of magnetic field is Tesla. It is represented by capital letter T. Therefore students, make use of this expression as magnetic field is force divided by current into length. Therefore, the SI unit of magnetic field is Tesla. So 1 Tesla is equal to, the SI unit of force is Newton, the SI unit of current is ampere, and the SI unit of length is meter. Therefore, 1 Tesla is equal to Newton per ampere per meter. Right? So remember students, Tesla is the SI unit of magnetic field. So magnetic field strength is said to be 1 Tesla if 1 meter long conductor carrying 1 ampere of current experience a force of 1 Newton when placed perpendicular to the direction of the magnetic field. So I'll write down this definition, it's very, very important. So 1 Tesla may be defined as, 1 Tesla is defined as that magnetic field if 1 meter long conductor carrying 1 ampere current experiences 1 Newton force, isn't it? 1 Tesla equals to 1 Newton per ampere per meter. So 1 Tesla is defined as that magnetic field when 1 meter long conductor carrying 1 ampere current experiences 1 Newton force when it is placed perpendicular to the magnetic field. So that is how the SI unit of magnetic field may be defined. Let us students now discuss the direction of the force experienced by a current carrying conductor placed in a perpendicular magnetic field, right? So the direction of the force experienced is given by Fleming's left hand rule. Yes, Fleming's left hand rule. Now students, according to this rule, this is my left hand, this is the thumb, this is the forefinger, and this is my central finger. I repeat, this is my left hand, this is the thumb, this is the forefinger, and this is the central finger. Now Fleming's left hand rule states that stretch the thumb, the forefinger, and the central finger of your left hand such that they all are mutually perpendicular to each other. These two are perpendicular, these two are also perpendicular, and these two are also perpendicular. So stretch the thumb, the forefinger, and the central finger of your left hand such that they all are mutually perpendicular to each other. In that case, students, if the forefinger represents the direction of the magnetic field represented by B, the central finger represents the direction of the current, then the thumb, it will represent the direction of the force experienced by the current carrying conductor. So students, just remember F, B, I. F stands for force, B stands for the magnetic field, and I stands for the current. So again I repeat this statement, students. The force experienced by a current carrying conductor placed in a perpendicular magnetic field, its direction is given by Fleming's left hand rule. Fleming's left hand rule states that if you stretch the thumb, the forefinger, and the central finger of your left hand such that they all are mutually perpendicular to each other, then if the forefinger represents the direction of magnetic field, if the central finger represents the direction of the current, then the thumb will represent the direction of the magnetic force experienced by the current carrying conductor. Right, students? We know that when a current carrying conductor is placed under the influence of perpendicular magnetic field, then it experiences a magnetic force. The direction of this magnetic force is given by Fleming's left hand rule. The central finger represents the current, the forefinger represents the magnetic field, and the thumb represents the force. In this case, if the current is made to pass through the conductor as shown in the figure, then the current that is represented by the central finger, the magnetic field which is in the downward direction, that is from north to south, that is represented by the first finger or the forefinger. Then the thumb, which represents the direction of the force, it is acting towards right. So as a result, the conductor gets deflected towards right. Now students, let's change the polarity of the cell so as to send the current through the conductor in the reverse direction. In this case, applying Fleming's left hand rule, we find that the conductor will experience a force towards left. So students, once again, let me convince you about the Fleming's left hand rule, right? This is suppose the left hand, and let us consider this to represent the thumb. This is suppose the forefinger or the first finger of the left hand. And let us consider this to be the middle finger or the central finger. So we are supposed to stretch the thumb, the first finger or the forefinger, and the central finger or the middle finger of our left hand such that they all are perpendicular to each other. This is the thumb, this is the forefinger, and this is the central finger of left hand. And we need to stretch such that they all are perpendicular to each other. In such a case, if the thumb represents the force, then the forefinger, it represents the magnetic field, and central finger must point along the direction of the current flowing through the conductor. So students, just remember FBI. Thumb, it represents the direction of the magnetic force experienced by the conductor. B, the first finger or the forefinger, represents the direction of the magnetic field, and the central finger, it represents the direction of the current flowing through the conductor. Right, students? So this is Fleming's left-hand rule, which is used to determine the direction of the force experienced by a current carrying conductor under the influence of perpendicular magnetic field. Clear? So this is the statement which I have written. This rule states that when we stretch the thumb, the forefinger and the central or the middle finger of our left hand such that they all are perpendicular to each other, then if the forefinger, this is the forefinger or the first finger, represents the direction of the magnetic field, the central finger, this is the central finger, it represents the direction of the current, then the thumb, it will point towards the direction of the force experienced by the conductor. Now students, let's apply this rule in these two cases. These are the two poles of a magnet. There's the north pole, there's the south pole. So magnetic field is directed from north to south. Outside the magnet, it is directed from north to south. So B, it represents the direction of magnetic field, that is from left to right. And this is a current carrying conductor in which the current is flowing in the outward direction, right? Is in the outward direction. So in which direction this conductor will experience force? So let's find out by using Fleming's left-hand rule. So this is Fleming's left-hand rule, students. Now look, this is F, this is B, this is I. You can also remember FBI by Federal Bureau of Investigation, right? It's a secret agency in US. So you can remember by that also. Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, isn't it? F, force, B, magnetic field, I stands for current. So coming back to this question, magnetic field is directed from left to right. So this is the magnetic field, first finger. So it is directed from left to right. This is the current along this direction, isn't it? This is the current along this direction. So thumb is pointing in the upward direction. So that indicates the direction of the force experienced by the current carrying conductor, isn't it, students? So here the conductor will experience force in the upward direction like this. It will experience a force along this direction. Clear? All are perpendicular to each other. They all are mutually perpendicular to each other. Clear? Now let's consider this case. Again, these are the two poles of a magnet. Magnetic field will be obviously directed from north to south. This is the conductor. But here the direction of the current is reversed. Earlier it was like this. Now it is in the opposite direction, isn't it? So let's see. This is F, this is B, this is I. Magnetic field is from left to right. It's okay. Current is along this direction. Current is along this direction. Earlier it was like this. Now it's in the opposite direction. So if you apply this rule, students, look, this is the direction of magnetic field. This is the forefinger of the first finger. This is central finger. It represents the direction of the current. This is the direction of the current, isn't it? So this is the direction of the current. So thumb, students, this is the direction of the force. It's in the downward direction. So in this case, it will be like this. This will be the direction of the magnetic force. Again, they all are mutually perpendicular to each other. They all are mutually perpendicular to each other. So students, I hope you have understood Fleming's left-hand rule, right? Again, I repeat, this rule is used only to determine the direction of the force experienced by a current-carrying conductor placed in a perpendicular magnetic field. So students, keep practicing applying these rules in various numericals and conceptual questions, right? So that's it for this particular session. Do join me in my next lecture. Till then, do take very good care of yourself and thank you for watching my video.